Run and get a blanket and come and sit with me and I'll read a story. This one is called Bats in the Dark. Last summer, Jay went to the country. One evening he was playing catch with his father. It was almost dark and he could hardly see the ball. Then, zip! Something flew past and almost touched him. It flapped its wings like a great big moth. Jay jumped back. Was it some scary night bird? No, his father said. It was not a bird. It was a bat. A bat? That made Jay think of spooks and monsters. His father asked him if he would like to see a bat up close. Jay was not so sure, but he said yes anyways. His father got a flashlight and they walked back to the old barn. They climbed a shaky ladder to the big top floor. Suddenly something dark whizzed right by Jay's face. It was the bat. The bat fluttered, then stopped, and seemed to disappear. Jay's father spotted it with the flashlight. The bat hung upside down by its sharp toes. His wings were wrapped around it like a cape. Its little eyes peeked out. Its big ears kept twitching and turning. It was the strangest creature Jay had ever seen. As the summer went on, Jay discovered many things about the dark, upside-down world of bats. He found that bats are very different from birds. Bats have fur on their bodies instead of feathers. Their wings and tails are made of leathery skin stretched across thin bones. Bats do not lay eggs as birds do. Bat babies are born alive the same way kittens are. Mother bats nurse their young with their own milk. That is why bats, like mice, cats, cows, and people, are called mammals. Of all the mammals, bats are the only ones that can fly. Most bats are awake at night and sleep during the day. Near sundown, they wake up and flutter around at their posting places in old houses and caves. At nightfall, they fly out to hunt for food. At daybreak, they return. The bat that lived in Jay's barn was a little brown bat. Little brown bats and most other small bats are insect eaters. They catch flies, mosquitoes, beetles, and moths in the air. The most amazing thing about bats is the way they can find their way in the dark. Bats can fly through the deepest woods. They can slip through the tight spaces between branches and vines without hitting a wingtip. They can catch small, darting insects at high speed. Bats can make their way through the complete blackness of deep caves. How do they do it? Most bats do not use their eyes when they fly and hunt. To test this, scientists put blindfolds on bats. The bats could still find their way around. Then they took the blindfolds off and covered the bats' ears. The bats bumped into things and could not catch insects. This showed that hearing is more important to bats than seeing. The bats were finding their way by listening to sounds. A bat sends out sounds from its mouth. The sounds spread out through the air in waves. The sound waves keep going until they hit something, like an insect or a tree. Then the sounds bounce back to the bat as echoes. Different things make different echoes. By listening to these echoes, the bat can tell where he is flying. He can tell where the insects are. Your ears cannot hear these bat sounds. They are too high for people to hear. Scientists call these sounds ultrasonic. When a bat hunts for food, it first sends out slow put-put signals. When insect echoes bounce back, the bat speeds up the signals. As they fly, bats seem to flip-flop in crazy ways. This is because they turn quickly and spin around while chasing insects. Bats are so quick they can catch 2 flies in 1 second. With a flick of a wingtip, they can toss mosquitoes toward their curled-up tails. Their tails scoop the insects into their mouths. Bats are really expert acrobatic flyers. Jay found out that there are many different kinds of bats. Some are small, and the largest ones have a wingspan of 5 feet. Most small bats use sound echoes to hunt and find their way, but some larger bats hardly use sound echoes at all. These large bats have small ears and big eyes that see very well in the dark. Their sharp sense of smell also helps them to find food. Some of them fly during the daytime. Some bats catch fish to eat. Other bats eat fruit. And there are even bats that sip nectar from flowers. By the end of the summer, Jay had become a bat watcher. He and his father discovered a bat nursery in an old house where nobody lived. The mother bats and their furless babies snuggled together. After dark, the mother bats flew out to feed. Jay and his father watched them flitting back and forth across the white circle of the rising moon. Back in the city, Jay went with his father to a special building at the zoo. It was all dark inside, with just a dim red light. To the animals, it seemed like nighttime. One part of the building was like a jungle with lots of bats flying around. In another place, bats were fishing in a big water tank. There were bats there from all over the world. Jay and his father stayed a long time. As they were leaving, two boys came running through the dark hall. One boy bumped into Jay. "Watch out," his friend said. "You're as blind as a bat." But Jay knew that bats are not blind. Even if they were, they could still get along very well by using their ears. A bat would never have bumped into him in the dark. The end.